according to the directions and some of the signage, I'm in Eva, Tennessee. There's the Kentucky Lake, I guess, which is a product of the dam. Found the old church, a Methodist church, but the cemetery seems to be about 5 miles away, so I'm going to go there now. Quite an interesting place. Very rural, to say the least. There's some newer homes, and I saw some log cabins. Kind of interesting. I'm on Eva Beach Road, heading back to the main road, whatever the hell that means. I'm getting on to Eva, the road to the old Flatwoods cemetery. I think that's where I'm going. When I tell you, like, there's old log cabins here, like, that's an old log cabin next to another house. Here's the post office. Next to the church where I thought the graveyard would be, Eva United Methodist. I won't be here tomorrow for service, but anyway, so now I got to figure out where I'm going. I think I make a right here, so I'll check back with you in about 5 miles down the road. All right, so we now have evidence that Paffords were near this this area, largely because Representative Blake Pafford Highway. Never heard of Blake Pafford, but I suspect Blake was a old-fashioned Democrat or a Republican. Nevertheless, I don't know where I'm going, but a few more miles up the road, maybe we'll find a cemetery. I don't know. So I'm in the Nathan Bedford State Forest. It's actually quite nice. About 3/10 of a mile. I'm gonna make a left out of the state forest, and I'm gonna be on Happy Hollow Road. All right, well, this is some backwoods shit. That's what I could say about that. I did stop and ask a lady. She had no clue. But I'm on my way to Camden City Cemetery, which may have been known as Old Flatwood, I don't know. I left the state park. There are some very old structures in here. This road is not a great road, but so far I haven't hit anything. Jesus Christ, I can't imagine hitting something. I'd be strung up. In about a little less than half a mile, I need to make a right on Eva Flatwoods Road. Now, Flatwoods, that word is seen a couple times in some of the documents I've seen. Old Flatwoods Cemetery. It's close to the church. Now I'm making a right on Eva Flatwoods Road any minute here. It is quite a beautiful place. The forest is very nice. It's actually a real forest. A lot of topography up and down. A lot of little hollows. No real mountain, but the roads, as I say, are older. There's apparently horse shit or cow shit in the road. It is paved. Alright, gotta make a right-hand turn on Flatwoods. Maybe I'll run into another Pafford. I'm least a representative did. Chestnut Hill and Eva Flatwoods Road, right there. So, Flatwoods Road, we go. I guess this is why it's called Flatwoods Road. Got another mile on this thing, but it's primarily all farmland. Cattle. Looks like they're growing beans, corn. That's all I got. I'm still driving. For all I know, this structure on the right could be the old Pafford barn or the local KKK gathering place. Well, found a cemetery, Cherry Grove Road and Flatwoods Road. So this looks like the exercise portion of my day. Oh, there's Flatwoods United Methodist Church. Okay, this should be interesting. It's not that old, it's not that big, so I might be able to find something here. Well, there's another area over there too, which looks older. So less work. Suppose I can actually park in the church parking lot. This is where my van begins to burn without reason. So I'm taking a gamble that that portion of the cemetery is the newer portion of the cemetery, and the portion I'm going to walk to at the Flatwoods United Methodist Church is the older cemetery. So that's where I'm going to head to and try to find some headstones. That would also apparently be the easiest place to find the headstones, as there are fewer headstones. Flatwoods ME Church South, 1927. Okay, Flatwoods United Methodist Church burned 1980. Building commissioned 1927. One of the names up there is W.E. Pafford. Building committee, maybe, or commission, 1981. And W.G. Pafford. All right, so we've got to have some Paffords buried here. Let's go take a look at that behind the swing sets. Okay, we have some evidence. I'm in the right place. Mary Inez Pafford, 1898-1932, erected by son Hilliard. A little newer. Joseph Pafford, World War II vet. He was recently buried in 94. And Martha Cox, December 6, 2012. Hizzy Pafford, H.C. Pafford, on the left, born 1859, 1916. On the right, 1860, 1907. Clarence Pafford, 1895, 1929. Oh, he went home. Here's some old stuff here. Looks like W.D. Pafford, 1854 to 1941. Sleeping Jesus. And another one I just can't make out. This is old stuff. And here's a Pafford. Oh, okay. Now this is getting closer to what we want. This is Pafford, Morning Melton, 1805, born. William Cooper, 1799. That's one that I've read about. To give you an idea, there's the It's the van over there, and that's the church over there. So it's right along the road here. There's a ton of unmarked graves. Oh, this might be D.D. Pafford. D.D. Pafford, May 1841, died in 1899. That might be David Dare. I don't know. Again, a lot of markers, but they aren't necessarily associated with people. This might be a Pafford, but I really can't read this one. Here's another one. 1908, Bessie of William and Della Pafford. 1908, 1909. Now William might be the granddad. I'm not sure. Here's Ruby C. Pafford, Sandifer. Yeah, a big one here. Woo! This is William. William Marshall Pafford. Now that's interesting. That might be a direct descendant. Della Lee, I guess that was his wife. Cordelia May Pafford, 1877, 1933. Some more Meltons over here to the right. Timothy Pafford, 1863, he died. A.G. Pafford, 1875. So, and these markers are all in interesting shape. Okay, this is an interesting one. This is an older one. I can barely make it out, but it's M-A-I. Looks like an I, maybe M-A-H, M-A-R-Y. It's like a G, but I just can't quite tell. Pafford, P-A-F-F-O-R-D. Boy, this is tough to see. 1891 maybe? I just cannot. Oh, wow, I can read it in the screen. Maybe this will help when I see it on the mom. Can't tell. It's interesting. Wow. Have to have help reading this when we get it on a computer screen. But basically, Mary Pafford. Maisie, maybe? Maybe there are a few Paffords here. Jill? I don't know. Okay, this is an interesting one. Yikes, gotta sit down. There's a little hand holding the Bible. In memory of William G. Pafford, born 1822, died June 3rd, 18... I can't tell. Let's see, he was born January 14th, 1822, died June 3rd or 8th, 1826. Okay, must be a young kid. Audrey, maybe you can decipher this. It's hard to read on this screen. Okay, it's definitely an old one. Okay, this one's pretty good. Father, mother of mourning Pafford Melton, okay, 1820, 1853, wife of John Wesley. But I've heard about mourning Pafford Melton. Be interesting to see who her father is and mother. Here's John Wesley, founder of Wesley Chapel. There's an infant. Morning Star Melton, wife of John Wesley. This is Sarah Pafford. I've read about her. Born April 2nd, 1804. Died November 3rd, 1869, I want to say. And this is very sizable. You know, it's over 5 feet tall. She may have had some money. Okay, this one's easy to read. This is John Pafford, 1798, September 5th, 1851. And that's another sizable marker, similar in stature to Sarah, who's on the other side. I guess I need to start looking on the other side of these things. On top of this one, it says Thomas something. It's really hard to read, but I do see here a it's like an R, well, W.P. Pafford. It's actually really hard to distinguish. This looks like 1827. There's no real angle I can get this on. Anyway, it's an old one. W. Pafford, it looks like. Thomas Wes Hay, maybe, or Thomas something. Wesley. Thomas Wesley, maybe. And then this is W. Pafford. I just don't understand that. You know, the backside, see, I do learn from my mistakes. This graveyard is, I'm sure, full. I suspect that this graveyard filled up to capacity. There's a lot of stones, indiscriminate places, along with cedar trees and those type of things. The stones, I'm certain, mark graves. Here's an old one. This is a Pafford, 1880, 1892 maybe, died something 30. I don't know if there's a name there. It looks like it's broken off, but it's an oldie. And the people that etched that in stone did a nice job, but certainly by hand. That's old. And this thing is only maybe a foot off the ground, as am I. So let's get up. And it looks like the graves are collapsing here. This is larger to read, more modern. Mary Jane, 1881, 1971. William T, 1878. 1941. So it's larger. Mary Jennings Pafford Dyer, 1929, April 5th, 1973. The tiny little gravestone, I don't know if I can see a P here. And it feels like there'd be characters enough to write the word. Oh, there's another Pafford actually. Maybe my work is not done here. And a Melton next to it. So, this is a few. Andrew J, 1868. Fleeter, 1878. Fairly recent. Thelma, Kenneth, Adrian Pafford, 1904, 1924, 1904. Not sure if you can make those out. 1961, 2016, Catherine Ann. Looks like maybe this was just, these markers are all newer. And oops, there's Martha, 1832, Cooper, 1829. These markers seem to be larger. Here's an Ira, 1885, Otha, 1888. Here's James. It's a James Pafford. This may be my granddad. Well, my great-granddad, James H. Pafford. Born February 4th, 1840. Died January 18th, 1914. That's interesting. And there's J.H. Pafford. He's the 5th Tennessee Infantry. Confederacy, I suppose. Francis Pafford. Here's a Milton Pafford, 1858, 1946. Martha Ann, 1878, 1908, Pafford. Cora Lee, 1882, 1968. Homer, Lily Marvin, 1907, 1884, 1879. Well, maybe this research is good for somebody that's getting into this. Lillian, Lowell, Quentin, Calvin. More Paffords. The Reverend, Job Ray, Ranny Berry, D.A. Pafford. Now that's an old one. 1871 to 1936. D.A. Pafford. Here's, it's a Pafford. E.L. something. Elmira, wife of P.E. Pafford. (1848), I guess. Early 1900s. Pafford. So that's interesting. I wonder if any of these are kinfolk directly related to my granddad. Vinnie, Clifford, or Aramay. Okay, this could be another granddad. James M. Pafford. August 5th, 1864. May 18th, 1942, loved by all. May L. Pafford, 1884, 1977. And Frank B., 1884, 1960. Another Pafford. Tilford, Tim, must have been an infant. Louise, all around the turn of the century. Turn of the century Paffords, R. Preston, husband and wife, M. Janey, 1905, 1907. Another one, Robert Maurice Pafford, it's like 1882, something like that, 1935. 1873, Orlando and Ora, 1879. Somebody must come in and added these two stones that had an original placement, because these are, a lot of these are really new stones. Infant, W.G. Pafford, 1940. Julia Nina, 1870. 1870, Mother Julia Nina, Father 1867, Oscar Neil Pafford. Sarah, again, looks like a newer stone, 1848, 1940. John, 1847, 1928. Dorothy B, 1927. James, 1924. This is Pafford, 1902. A lot of 1900s, turn of the century. Jewel, T. Lyman, Hazel. Here we go. December 1917, 1992. It's recent. Henry. Some Jacksons. It's interesting they have some of these stones turned around to the other side. It's Pafford also. Must be what I'm talking about. They may have taken a lot of these broken stones and made new markers. Somebody came through. Here's an older Pafford. Mother, father, Fleta, 1878. William E, 1876. So that was the side that I thought was newer. There are a lot of graves. This thing is 3 or 4 times large as the previous cemetery. At least that's what I can see from the top. I'm sure codes and standards for burial changed over. Eva, Tennessee. We're thereabouts in them Flatwoods. Croplands, maybe some ranch land. Here's a pond of some sort. A lot better than Arkansas. God, was that a nightmare. More fields. Some old tractors, old barns. Definitely a area that's been used for farming for a long time.